all. Thanks again for tuning in this week. Another full body one should take you about 45 minutes to an hour. If you know the movements, you can go ahead, jump ahead. If not, you can stay tuned. I'll kind of go over the movements here with you. We'll catch you there. Kind of a different layout for this one right here. 45 minutes in entirety, but we're going to have two movements, either with a kettlebell or just using your body weight. And then that third movement, that'll be like a cardio-based movement, so it can be burpees or jump rope. Laid out a handful of them, gave you some other options if you want to explore and kind of do your own cardio type thing for a minute. Be my guest, be adventurous, but that'll be the rundown. So you got 2, cardio, rest, and then we'll get through it 2-3 times, and that'll be the entirety of it. First group of movements right here, we're just trying to kind of limber up the body, get some blood, get some juices flowing before we hop into kind of the bulk of the workout. So the first one is that bear stance. So flat back, the shins are going to be parallel to the ground. Nice shoulder stability right here, and we're going to reach into bird dogs. So it's going to be left arm, right leg, left arm. So just alternating right here. A lot of hip stability. The whole time we're not trying to wobble. So strong in the hips. As I've said before, if you got a cup of milk in your low back, don't try to spill it. So just really slow, intentional, moving throughout that core. Movement number 2 right here, we're going to have a tabletop into a toe touch. Glute bridge up, so hands are going to be on the ground, trying to get our hips up high in the sky. Same idea as those bird dogs, opposite hand, opposite foot. We're going to reach out, so it's with left arm, right foot, try and get it touched. So good hamstring mobility, good hip flexors, then as always, we're engaging the core here. So just alternating between the two of them, we're going to get 20 altogether. Movement number 3, this will be the same format for every one of the sets that we have going on right here. It's just picking a cardio that you would like to do. So for the first one, I did jump rope. Really bad at jump rope. I eat it. I get about 5 jumps every time. But yeah, just pick your poison. You can do burpees, jump tucks. I'm gonna have a couple listed as far as like demos and stuff like that if you have any questions. But get creative. Anything that gets the heart rate up for that minute, pick your poison. Ideas for the cardio. We got the jump rope. Sure, pretty familiar with burpees. I can throw down a video for that. If you want to modify it and not do a push-up, that's fine. Just kick the legs out. High knees, just standing in place, getting the knees up. Skiers, I'll have a video for that, but it's almost like a curtsy lunge, so you can do like a lateral hop or just like step into it, touch the ground, alternate between the two. Floor jacks, like a jumping jack, but we're on the floor, so modifying like a high plank, legs are going out and in. Soccer kicks, we've had that in a previous video I believe, but maybe with a kettlebell or just like an imaginary line that you want to kick, kind of like low knees, but we're kicking it. Jump tucks, those are going to be kind of difficult, but standing in place, just jumping up, getting both knees up to the chest. Then mountain climbers, back into a high plank, driving the knees up, broad jumps, just go for it, just keep jumping. And then jumping jacks, I'm sure you're familiar with jumping jacks. But if anything else comes to mind, be my guest, leave a comment or something for other cardio ideas, could be good. Movements for the second bunch is going to be single arm, bent over row, into a clean, into a snatch, into a reverse lunge. So this one is a pretty good cluster to get the whole body incorporated here. The first one's going to be bent over row, so hinge at the hips, flat back, pulling the kettlebell up into our pocket, bringing the kettlebell back to the ground into a clean, so big triple extension coming up on the toes, extended through the hips. Getting up into that front rack. From there, we can either do an overhead press if we're not too comfortable with the snatch. If you are comfortable, big hip hinge, extend through the hips, get it up overhead. The same arm that you are snatching with, that same leg's going to go back. So that'll be a reverse lunge, so big shoulder stability, core stability as well. If you don't feel comfortable going back into that reverse lunge, you can just front rack it and do a reverse lunge, and then back to that start position and repeat. So row, clean, snatch, lunge. To accompany all of the rowing and snatching you got on that right side or left side once you have the 6. Place one of your hands on the kettlebell. We're going to move back to that bear stance, so same one that we were kind of going over before, flat back, shins parallel. Just adding in a little bit of instability being raised up on that kettlebell. With your right hand, let's step forward with our left and then kick through with our right. Whole time trying to maintain everything off the ground, flexors engaged, core engaged as we kick through. And then on the return process, same idea, don't let anything drag. And just having that instability right there, just making it more challenging on you. If this is a little bit too difficult, we can just maintain that posture up on the kettlebell. So just kind of holding a plank through the duration of that. And you'll feel that, the instability, fight the urge to lean forward off the kettlebell. And if you guessed it, another round of cardio. I picked burpees for this go around. It was not a good time, but if you're a glutton for pain, by all means choose the burpees. Group number 3, starting off clean into a squat. So we're going to crowd the kettlebell, grab it by the horns, do a kind of an explosive deadlift, and as we go, we're going to high pull it and hike it into that front rack position. Then from there, we're going to have the horn right underneath our chin. Then we're going to squat down, returning back to that start position. So quickly up, close into the body, and then squatting. Partnering with this movement right here, we're going to do a push-up and do an alternating knee drive. kind of exactly what it seems like. So push up, then bring the knee up to the chest. If you want to modify this, if we're not too strong in the upper body, we can do a modified push up from our knees. If you're not really feeling the cardio aspect of driving the knees up, just bang out a couple of push ups right here. Altogether, we are looking for 20. So pace yourself, find something that works for you. The cardio time, find something that works for you. Just get that heart rate elevated for a minute. Coming down home stretch right here, the fourth group of movements will be a kettlebell halo into a lateral lunge. So we're going to have it up in that front rack position, do the halo. So if we're going to our right ear, then our left ear, then we're going to step away. So big lateral lunge, trying to keep our shin vertical the whole time. Don't let that knee track anywhere. Don't let that torso lean forward, even though you got the kettlebell hanging out up there. And then we're going to return to center. We're going to get all 8 on the same side. So just pace it out. Get the halo, get the core activated, and then we're going to get a lot of glute work on that single leg. Moving from the lunges, we're going to go into a cross plank. We're stepping with our left leg. Let's have our left hand on the mat. The other arm could have a kettlebell, could just be body weight, but we're going to move up into a side plank. So we don't want our hips sagging down. Nice straight line from our heels up to our head. Real big in the obliques, squeezing the glutes, keeping that core nice and tight. Cardio time here, so whatever you want for that minute. I think I went with skiers, and I was really feeling it in the glutes after a minute, or after 20 seconds you're feeling it, but whatever you want for this one. This little grouping right here, we're going to have an open half kneeling torso rotation into an overhead press. So if we're going to be in a half kneeling, one knee is going to be down. Let's go with our right leg down first. The left leg is going to be perpendicular to that. So nice wide open hips. We're going to have the kettlebell on our right side, and then we're going to rotate up towards the up knee. So a lot of thoracic mobility. Should really feel a good stretch in those hips. Once we get that rotation, we're going to drive up overhead. So again, shoulder stability, a lot of core strength right here to keep everything nice and stable as a foundation. Kettlebell pullover with a leg raise. So we're going to be on our back, pick a kettlebell that's relatively light for you. You don't want to be tearing your shoulders out when you go up overhead. But you're going to have it in a crush grip, so kind of holding it by the horns. Going to have your legs bent up. As we extend, both arms, both legs, they're going out. Trying to have the horns touch the ground and then have your heels touch the ground. So just a nice little tap. Keep that lower back on the mat there. You don't want your ribs flaring up at all. So nice straight line as you go out. We're going to use our core, use our hip flexors, use our lats. Come back together, and we're going to get that last go around of cardio. So go ahead, pick whatever you'd like. I think I went with floor jacks, and this was not a good time. Definitely felt it, but it's the last one, so dig in deep. All right, that's enough talking. Let's hop into it. We're going to start off with the bear stance and the bird dog. Get everything limbered up, and yeah, we'll see you on the other side. First set of these bird dogs. Let's take it nice and slow. Create that tension within our core and stay stable. This movement might feel a little wonky, but it'll be good, allowing us a little bit more mobility in our shoulders and our hamstrings before we get into the exercises. Pick jump ropes right out of the gates. Really bad at jump ropes, but that's why we're here. We're trying to get better. to our full body complex here with the snatches. Let's think moving plank. So really tighten the core to stabilize, and then strong in the shoulders and legs as we move. In our kick-throughs, let's try and keep as much pressure on that kettlebell as we can. That'll keep that shoulder depressed and a lot more stability as we move through this. Got another round of cardio right here. Whatever you picked, try and pace it out, breathe through it. You got a whole minute to get through. And if you did go with burpees, good on you, because these ones are rough. arms are feeling like jello, but at this point, I know mine were. Just keep on powering through, you're almost there. Third set. Moving on to a new group of movements right here. We're starting off with those squat cleans. With this exercise, we want to keep the kettlebell in a path that's as vertical as we can. So as we lift it up into the clean, trying to go straight up and down, same idea with the squat.
So we drop it, so we do it. This a rhythm, I lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Land down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And every man say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And every man say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And every man say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune. All I'm full of, we go play back again. And every man say yeah, 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 yeah. All I'm full of, we go play back again. See them tackle up the big tune.
Don't be afraid to modify any of these exercises. If your arms are starting to die on you, you can drop down to the knees to finish out those last few.
So we chop it, so we do it. This a rhythm, I lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street. Alright, so we chop it, so we do it. Land down and we a lock down the street. So we chop it, so we do it. This a when you come feel lock down the street.
The third group of cardio right here. Pick whatever you like. I went with high knees. I haven't done these since high school football. But geez, yeah, calves were on fire, legs were burning. Definitely kept the heart rate up for this minute.
come up by waiting for the clear. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I look.
As we get through our second set, let's be very mindful not to let our torso fold over when we're in that clean. So even though we have the weight up there, use our core to keep that flat back and our chest up.
Listen, I can see the light today, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering how the world keeps on spinning, kinda scared of living when it unfolds. Hard to see the light when everything is dying, waiting for the clear. Thankful I'm alive, but terrified of dying. But hey, I'm still here. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light today, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away.
Good job finishing up that third group of movements. We're going to head down the home stretch right now, starting off with the halo and the lateral lunge. In this movement here, let's think sensations, not shapes. So whatever depth that our body is allowing us to get in, let's get there comfortably, not force anything, keeping our chest up, our butt back, and our shin vertical. We're going to have 30 seconds in this side plank, so whether it's with a kettlebell or just using our body weight, let's try and maintain a nice straight posture. So straight line from the heels up to the head, squeezing our glutes, keeping those hips kind of rocked forward, and then pressing hard into that mat. If we need to modify this movement at all, we can drop down onto our forearm. That should be a little bit easier. If that's still a little bit of a challenge for you, we can bend our knees. So you can be on your forearm and then have bent legs. Fourth grouping right here of the cardio. Again, you can pick whatever you like. I went with skiers just to pair with the lateral lunges, so really hammering home on the glutes and getting that explosive plyometric laterally here. really good job finishing up that fourth group of movements. My legs were cooked at that point, so we're gonna give the lower half a rest. We're gonna go into the half kneeling and get some upper body work here with pressing. With our rotations right here, if we can picture headlights on our shoulders as well as our hips, we want to keep the front of us lit up, then when we rotate, just the shoulders are lighting up the side wall. So 2 movements right here. Don't try and flip your hips over when you rotate. So a big stretch in the hips, bring it back to center, and get that press. As we extend here, let's think nice and slow. So the shoulders are kind of going to be in a compromised area when we have that weight up overhead. So keep our ribs down, back against the mat, and nice and slow as we extend. Then use our core and our lats to bring ourselves back together. Last group for our cardio right here, so get adventurous, pick something new. I went with floor jacks, very deceptive. About 20 seconds in, my shoulders were on fire, and my core was really feeling it. So whatever you like right here. last set here of our pressing and our rotations. As we start to fatigue and get tired, we may feel our chest dropping down. So fight that urge, be strong in our core, keep our chest up, especially when we rotate. Don't try and over-rotate and dip that kettlebell down. Just do what our body is allowing us today. Final minute here, then you got your freedom back. Let's dig in deep, whatever cardio that you picked. I don't know who comes up with these exercises or these workouts, but this one sucked for sure. I was feeling it by the end of it. But appreciate y'all coming out. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you again for tuning in, y'all. If you did enjoy the workout, give me a like or subscribe. Maybe share it to somebody. If you didn't like the workout, I would love to hear about it. I want to make these as fun, as engaging as possible. So if I can make anything run a little bit easier or more adaptable for you, leave a comment, let me know. I'll try and make these better as I get better. All right, so we'll see you next week.